back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Garden Radio Show with your hosts, Joey and Holly Baird.
Welcome back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show as Shawna Coronado gets dialed in here. Shawna Coronado is a wellness and lifestyle advocate. She is all over the country with her motivational speaking, her authorism. She's got great books that she has self-published, so we will get her on in just a moment. As we've indicated several times in the show, you want to get a hold of us, you can certainly do that via email at twvgshow@gmail.com anytime, and you can find more information about us at the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com, where there's over 1,500 garden videos, short and long format. Well, we've got Shawna queued up. Hi, let's go to the iView Organics 3-in-1 Plant Guard hotline and bring in Shawna Coronado.
Sure. Shawna Coronado is a wellness lifestyle advocate, professional author, photographer, and media host who campaigns for social good. She is a Make a Difference passion focused on wellness. She teaches her readers how to reduce chronic pain with diet and exercise, grow organic produce and plants, all while exploring smart anti-inflammatory recipes and cooking ideas. Welcome to the program, Shawna.
Hey, thanks for having me. I haven't talked to you guys in, it has to be a year at least.
Yeah,
How have you been? How are you doing with your gardens this season?
We're doing pretty good. Our gardens were a little bit weedy, but other than that, pretty good.
We're going to transition to raised beds next year to avoid a lot of the headache in which we've been fighting with the weeds, and we'll up the production. So that's our solution to the problem.
Hey, I love that solution. In fact, as you know, I moved from Chicago to Arizona, right? I have to tell you what happened this summer. This is first of all, one of the most exciting things that ever happened in my life. It took us a whole year to get rid of all our crap in our house and pack and move and, have that whole experience. But in moving out to Arizona, we bought a house. It's a small property. And I weeded twice this summer. It took me 5 minutes. I just went out there and pulled a couple weeds and I was done. Where back in Illinois, I weeded buckets every week. Absolutely. Buckets and buckets. So the overwhelming change has been that I have so much less maintenance than I had before. And our goal is the same as yours, which is to elevate all the beds. I've been using the Veg Trug. I love the Veg Trug. They're fabulous. And when you elevate the beds, you have no weeding whatsoever. So that's another benefit.
Now, is that one of the, and you've mentioned you moved from Chicago, which is zone, 6 or something?
5B.
5B.
Yeah, 5B. And now I live in zone 9B.
So
I'm in Mesa, Arizona.
A major transition all the way across the board there.
Mm-hmm. And good for me. I have, as you know, because of what I've been writing and talking about the last few years, in 2015 I was diagnosed with severe degenerative osteoarthritis of the spine. There's no cure for that. So finding ways to creatively live an anti-inflammatory lifestyle, where I've reduced the amount of strain on my back, but also increased the amount of positive lifestyle changes. That's really what my goal has become.
Okay. So aside from less weeding out there and you're going to build some raised beds, I'm sure there's a lot of other gardening differences. Was there some that you noticed, even though sounds like you have a full season of gardening, maybe you can still garden now? What?
Oh yeah. Here's the deal. The big change in moving to Arizona is in the winters, that's the season. So my seasons have reversed. It used to be that I only had 3 months of gardening, which was really the summer season in Illinois, right? Now I have 3 months of winter, which is actually summer, because in the summertime it's over 100 degrees here in Mesa. So it's too difficult and too hot to grow vegetables. People do it, but it's very challenging. You have to use a lot of water. There's all kinds of, it's too hard, okay? So I don't grow during the summer. However, in the winter, I have 2 full gardening seasons. I grow from September to December, and then it's still warm during the day. It's like in the 50s during the day, but at night, it gets down to 30 degrees and, like somewhere between 30 and 40 at night. And this lasts until mid-January. So you can grow winter vegetables in January and December. And then at the end, sometime in February, you can start growing another vegetable season. So from February until May, then, I have another full vegetable growing season. So for me, I've lost the snow, the drama, the minus 50-degree temperatures, and I have gained 2 full gardening seasons. It's amazing.
It definitely sounds really pretty neat. Now, you have taken on this whole new approach to healthy living, as you mentioned, your osteoarthritis. Now, and you talk about the inflammatory foods, or the anti-inflammatory foods. What are some foods that do trigger the inflammatory or inflammation in our bodies?
Okay, so the food plan that I'm on, and by the way, I want all of you listeners out there to go out and find an integrative, functional nutritionist or health professional. The key terms there, you can search for it in your area, is integrative functional. Integrative functional experts, they're not woo-woo type of professionals. They are medically trained, okay, but instead of just treating with a Band-Aid, here, have a pill, instead of doing that, they look at your total lifestyle and try to find out exactly what's wrong with you, right? What's causing your chronic pain or chronic condition, and then they help treat you. So I went to an integrative functional nutritionist who put me on a diet. That diet eliminated dairy and grains and heavy sugars. So my diet is essentially no dairy, no grain, low sugar. And when I say that to people, they're like, my God, what do you eat? Well, I grow so many vegetables. Almost any vegetable is anti-inflammatory. I mean, vegetables and whole foods are where it's at. So it's the dairy and the grains that are really, for me personally, are triggering me. You might have a different reaction. If you go to an integrative functional expert, they're going to try to find out what is it that you are food sensitive to. But the book that I wrote this season that's coming out is called Stacked with Flavor, and it's really a guidebook. At the beginning, it's a whole food plan where I tell you, what is this diet that I'm on and how does it work. I give you all kinds of advice. And then the end of it is a meal planner so that you can lay out what things, what things you might be sensitive to or not, and plan your meals monthly. And then, of course, the whole interior of the book is all a cookbook. And so it's interesting that I came from garden roots, and I kept telling myself that, vegetables aren't that important. And then I'm struck down with this horrible disease, and I switched to mostly vegetables, like a lot of vegetables. I still eat chicken and fish and all that, but, I eat a lot more vegetables than I did before. And I'm going back to my roots of growing up in Indiana on a farm and growing vegetables and eating them and making that really an incorporated part of my health routine, which is really, really important. So that's the long and short of it. Dairies and grains I would toss out of my diet, and I have forever. Now, here's the result. Right now, when I was diagnosed, I could barely walk. Right now, I have about 80% less pain than I did when I was diagnosed. And that's 3 years into eating like this. It has been miraculous for me.
Well, and when you go to that integrated, correct me on that, not a general doctor, they want to get you well. They just don't want to take your money and keep you in the system, as we've kind of found out, and some of us have known for many years that's what the big system is all about.
Oh, my gosh. You're saying it, man, because I went to my osteosurgeon, a guy who's an expert, and he's like, the only cure for you is pain therapy. Pain therapy is opioids. I'm like, I don't want pain therapy. I want to fix as much as I can without having to go to a medication. So you are absolutely, and here's the deal. Reducing it, so inflammatory conditions are more than just chronic pain issues. It's diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, allergies. All of my allergy symptoms are severely reduced now compared to, I used to be year-round. I would have like 4 sinus infections a year. And now I haven't had one since I've gone on the diet, not a single one. So the important difference between this food plan that I'm on and what I did before was before I restricted myself to a 1,200 calorie a day diet because society tells me I need to be beautiful. All right. First of all, I need to be a perfect mother. I also need to be a perfect wife. I need to work full time, but I also need to care for all these people. And I need to do all of that while I'm looking perfect. I think society, those pressures that we're getting from the magazines and the newspapers and whatever is what's causing people to be so very unhappy. Because there's no way that I could, eating 1,200 calories a day, I could barely think straight, let alone, do all that I'm supposed to do. So changing the diet was also a lifestyle change because I stopped eating to stay thin, and I started eating to feel better. And I targeted foods that would actually make me feel better. And I don't mean happier like eating a lot of desserts, and having a sugar euphoria. I mean eating to feel better so that I have less chronic pain, less feel bad days, and more feel good days.
Well, that might be the secret to life, Shawna. You may have just you've shared us the secret that people have been looking for many years.
Well, let's hope that my goal, although, I do make a living writing books and doing my thing, my real goal in life is to inspire people to live well. And that, I think, has become my life's mission, to help people. And when I go and speak, like at the Mother Earth News Fairs and these different places I'm at, the people that come up to me afterwards, some of them are in wheelchairs and have been stuck in wheelchairs for years because they've been doing the give me a pill solution instead of actively trying to find their own health. We need more people to find their own health.
Sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective in life, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you touched on your new book. It's called Stacked with Flavor. You talked about kind of what's in there. Is there any fun little tidbit that you want to share about it, aside from the synopsis you provided?
Oh yeah, let me tell you. The number one thing, especially men walk up to me after these events and they're like, "Hey, I have been given a diabetes diet. It tastes like crap. Help me. What are you going to do to help me with this?" And so the tidbit is the first few chapters are filled with herb and spice seasoning combinations that you can make from scratch. They taste so much better than these packaged ones. And I think I discovered why. If you go in, I used to love this packaged seasoning mix called Slap Ya Mama. And I went and looked at the back of that. It is filled with so much crud, right? It's a lot of chemicals and all that sort of thing. So I started teaching these people how to make homemade seasoning mixes they could grow their own herbs, but you can also just go out and get herbs and spices and make them from scratch without all the artificial ingredients. It tastes so much better. And so my little tidbit is I want more people to be adding more seasoning to their cooking. And a quick tip, if you want to increase how vegetables taste so that they taste better, you roast them. Roasting is the secret. So I get 1 pound of vegetables plus 1 tablespoon of your favorite seasoning mix, add a little olive oil, and bake that, and that sucker is going to taste like gold. So delicious.
Well, Shawna, it's always a pleasure to have you on the program. You're beaming with information and excitement. How can people find out more about you and get your books?
Please go to my website, ShawnaCoronado.com, and if you want to find me on social media, everything is under my name, so you can just @Shawna Coronado anywhere, and you'll find me. But the book that is out right now, Stacked with Flavor, if you want a 10% discount, where you can get it is you go to the Mother Earth News store. So go to MotherEarthNews.com, click on store, and my book is in there, and you can get it for 10% off.
Well, Shawna, we greatly appreciate you coming on the program and enlightening Holly, myself, and all of our listeners with all of your great information and knowledge.
Well, thank you.
For more information, please visit theWisconsinVegetableGardener.com.